All right. Hey, everybody. It's Fred Hodgins in Ontario, Canada. And I just want to welcome to tonight's overview. I am super excited. We have a retired certified financial planner, broker dealer. Michael's also a husband, a grandfather. He's been an entrepreneur, been in the top income levels of this industry, but most important, he's just got a great big heart. He understands business, people, trends, and I'm excited to introduce Michael to be our presenter tonight. Today's going to be it's just an overview of a company called LifeVantage. You can see that on the screen, and he's just going to do a kind of a broad overview about the trends, the technologies, and what it is that we're in front of. And if there's interest on your part, then great, we can answer questions at another time, get back to the person that invited you here. But with that, I'm super excited to introduce and bring on Michael Haney. So take it away, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, the name is Michael Haney, and I am a retired certified financial planner. I spent over 34 years in that profession. And I've been with this company for 7.5 years. And I had a very successful career. I provided well for my family. Of course, I worked and I worked and I worked and I was gone most of the time. But I retired in December of 2012. But in December of 2000, the unexpected happened. My beautiful wife, Janelle, she suffered a serious back injury, a herniated disc in her lower back. And over the following 18 months, it resulted in, my goodness, 3 failed back surgeries. And it culminated in a disc fusion in her lower back. And she's been in chronic pain and permanently disabled ever since. As you can well imagine, after her injury and all these hospitalizations and everything, it sort of ate into our retirement and ate into our investments and savings. And, that caused us to start making some very strategic decisions. And so in the first quarter of 2013, we had decided to move to Panama. And the reason for Panama is that we had been there for several times on vacation and whatnot. And we even took the time to become legal permanent residents. And so that made a whole lot of sense because your dollars stretch a whole lot further in Panama than they do in the United States. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share this vital information with you at this time. It has kept us in the United States and not in Panama, so we're grateful for that too. LifeVantage began in a lab with a single question. And it was the answer to this question that was the reason why our company was formed. And it was to continue the research of some world-renowned scientists and to be able to share it with the world. So what is that single question? Is declining health something that we have to simply accept as part of getting older? Well, the answer to that question is no. And in 2003, after working on this formula for 30, 40 years, these scientific guys, they launched a product called Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. And of course, they made the claim that it slowed down the aging process and extended lifespan. And it caught the attention of ABC Primetime News investigative report and their Emmy Award winning investigative reporter, John Quinones. So in 2005, they were featured on an ABC Primetime News investigative report. They sent out a crew to the University of Colorado, Denver. They didn't believe that these world-renowned scientists had discovered a compound of 5 naturally occurring plants that could actually do that, but they found out otherwise. And when you watch this ABC report, if you haven't seen it, be sure to get the person who invited you to take a look at it. And in there, when the reporter takes the second blood test, pay close attention because that was history in the making. You see, we all have a biomarker in our blood. They can pull it and tell you how old you are. It shows how fast you're aging, or as scientists call it, your level of oxidative stress. So at the time, the company was a publicly traded company, and their stock was traded over the counter on what we call the pink sheets, and they had revenue annually of $7 million. And after the ABC Primetime News Investigative Report aired, all of a sudden, there were like 100,000 orders virtually overnight, $5 million in business. And you got to picture this. These are scientists. They're in their lab. They didn't have operators standing by. They didn't have a warehouse full of product to be able to distribute it to fulfill these orders. And so as a result of being unable to fulfill these orders, their stock price, which had skyrocketed to the moon after the ABC report aired, all of a sudden tanked, and it went into the toilet. Well, the scientists were very disappointed, as you can well imagine, but they put their heads together and they said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get this product out to the marketplace, and our idea is that we're going to put it in health food stores, and we're going to put it in GNC and Walgreens and Vitamin Shop and CVS. And so in 2007 and 2008, they spent $10 million in advertising in each of those 2 years. And in 2007, they got $3 million in revenue. And in 2008, they got $3 million in revenue. And I can tell you, as somebody who's familiar with business, that was a prescription for disaster. They were going down in flames. They knew that they had something special, so they didn't want to give up. They didn't want to sell the company or anything like that. And so they hired a business consultant, and the business consultant came out and gave them a look over. And after a couple of months came back and said, okay, let me get this straight. You've got a product that does what has never been done before. It's patented. It's natural. It's been featured on ABC Primetime News Investigative Report. You didn't even have to pay for that. That was free advertising. And you expect that minimum wage clerks in health food stores are going to be able to explain what NRF2 activation is? Not going to happen. So what we recommend you do is you take that product, take all the product out of the stores immediately, and start using what we call a word of mouth network distribution model, and have people talking to other people and explaining the science to them, and even using the ABC Primetime News Investigative Report to explain how this thing got started. So they did that. And in 2009, they switched from a retail to a direct sales model. And we wouldn't be here if they hadn't done that, because the first year they did $4 million in business, much better than that $3 million. And over the years, the revenues have exploded exponentially to where we're now doing $250 million in revenue simply by sharing this information with other people, word of mouth. Our stock is now publicly traded on NASDAQ, and the stock symbol is LFVN. Well, suddenly, all these research universities, they started contacting the company, wanting to spend their own research dollars studying the benefits Protandim NRF2 Synergizer might have in their particular areas of study. LSU, who's doing skin cancer research, Johns Hopkins, American Heart Association, the Ohio State doing heart research, Virginia Commonwealth, and Mayo Clinic, the National Institute of Aging. Well, this is pretty exciting. And I'll tell you, after exhaustive ongoing research done by these major institutions, there are now 26 published peer-reviewed studies in medical journals and on PubMed. So what happened after that? Well, lately in 2015, Washington State University compiled thousands of these studies that had been done on NRF2 activation, and here's what they concluded. NRF2 may very well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. That, folks, is NRF2 activation. And like I said, PubMed, let me tell you about PubMed. PubMed is the go-to place when scientists do scientific studies and it goes through peer review and they want it published. This is where they go. They go here and they go in publish in medical journals and that kind of thing. All right. So we began using activation to address the leading theories on health decline or aging, which we found to be much more effective than supplementation. So repeat after me. Activation is much better than supplementation. I'll wait. Okay, so PubMed is the under the U.S. National Library of Medicine and the National Institute of Health. So that's a pretty big deal. So what is oxidative stress? Well, oxidative stress is actually an imbalance between antioxidants and free radicals. And so when we're about 20 years old, we don't have arthritis, we don't have gray hair, we don't have wrinkles, and that is because the antioxidant enzymes in our bodies are winning the battle against the free radicals that we're exposed to. But after we cross that threshold of about 20, then we began to lose the battle, or at least the antioxidants lose the battle against the free radicals, and we start slowly but surely coming in contact with those age-related diseases. So what causes oxidative stress? Well, what we eat, what we drink, smoking, toxins, pesticides, rigorous exercise, pollutants, inactivity, and wireless signals, you know, from our cell phones. And folks, watch out for 5G, it's coming. And so oxidative stress has a negative impact on all of our organs and processes in the body, as you can see on this particular slide. And so all this led to what we call the first theory of aging, which is oxidative stress. And so we have found a way to turn on the switch in the NRF2 pathway of the body, which is responsible for antioxidant production. So let's talk about what Protandim NRF2 Synergizer does. Now, I'm not going to read everything here, but I'm going to tell you what leaps out at me. It helps to regulate over 500 survival genes. It induces antioxidants in our body capable of neutralizing 1 million free radicals every second, all day long, actually. And it lowers oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. It's the only dietary supplement proven to extend median lifespan according to a study that was done by the National Institute on Aging over a 7-year study, comparing it to a lot of other substances. So it's not us saying this. This information and these results have been vetted in scientific journals and clinically proven to activate nuclear NRF2, and all because of these 5 natural ingredients, these plant-based ingredients that have been combined in a special and a particular way. So in 2009, it was the study published in the medical journal Free Radical Biology Medicine that was commissioned by the American Diabetes Association and the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And what they wanted to do is that they wanted to compare what each one of our ingredients could do as far as NRF2 activation. And they used a control to compare, and that control was broccoli. You know, and the ingredient in there that is called sulforaphane. And that is an ingredient that does indeed activate the NRF2 pathway, but only just a little bit. And all these ingredients that have been around for centuries have also activated the NRF2 pathway, but again, just a little bit. So what they found in their research was that Protandim NRF2 Synergizer actually is 18 times more effective. And that's what we call a powerful synergistic recipe. So let's talk about what kind of benefits that you can get from taking NRF2 Synergizer. Well, number one, it increases SOD by 30%. That's an antioxidant enzyme, very important in the body. And in fact, when it's activated like that, one SOD molecule it is equal to scavenging 1 million free radicals every second all day long. It increases catalase, another important enzyme in the body, by 54%, and glutathione by 300%. Now, together in the NRF2 Synergizer, it provides an increasingly protective effect. Inside your body, over on the right, you can see there's 130 gazillion free radicals floating around in our bodies. And when you see what's circled there? When you take antioxidants from the outside in, CoQ10, vitamins like A, C, and E, minerals and proteins, the only benefit you're going to get, which is meager, is being able to scavenge one free radical molecule with one antioxidant molecule. That is not going to get it. It's a waste of time. So let's talk about initiating cell regeneration and stimulating cell regeneration through this antioxidant enzyme produced endogenous, that is internally produced rather than externally produced. So that has now led us to the second theory on aging, mitochondrial decline. Now, mitochondria is the powerhouse of our cells and gives our cells energy. The body needs constant power to run. Mitochondria are responsible for producing the power for our cells. Everything from the power to beat our hearts, inflate our lungs, or even think. Every cell requires mitochondrial power. So let's look at what we've done. We've been able to turn on the switch of the NRF1 pathway, and that's the pathway responsible for mitochondrial biogenesis. And let's look at what Protandim NRF1 synergizer does. Again, I'm not going to read all of these, but it limits the effect of cellular aging, mitochondrial dysfunction. That's really bad news. It increases cellular energy, supports a healthy DNA, supports cognitive health and brain health. And all these benefits, again, using these naturally occurring ingredients combined in a particular way. So that has now led us to the third theory on aging, which is called SIRTUIN activity. Now, we have flipped the switches on the NRF2 pathway, antioxidants, the NRF1 pathway, mitochondria, and now we are flipping the switch on the NAD pathway, which is responsible for SIRTUIN activity. Let's learn a little bit about it. SIRTUIN, there are longevity genes. Until last October, I had never heard of it, okay? But most of us hadn't either. But you need NAD for our longevity genes to function. So they go together, not by themselves. Now, as we age, our SIRTUIN activity declines by 60%. Unfortunately, a lot of other things decline as we age too, that I'm not happy to talk about right now. But our SIRTUIN activity declines by 60%. So there's a way that you can increase SIRTUIN activity, and one way is through something that's called caloric restriction. Now, what that means is you restrict the amount of calories that you're taking in. Excuse me. And what they recommend is 800 calories or less per day. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't get along very well with 800 calories or less a day. That's like a starvation diet. An 800 calorie diet, that would be challenging to say the least. Well, but what if there was a way to increase SIRTUIN activity by 100% in 24 hours? Well, you can do that with Protandim NAD Synergizer. Scientifically proven to do it. Excuse me again. Okay, so let's look at our options. We can do we can increase SIRTUIN activity by 94% with caloric restriction, or we can go to a competitor who has a precursor and they boast being able to increase it by 2%. Or you can take Protandim NAD Synergizer and increase it by 100% in 24 hours. We call that caloric restriction in a bottle. So what does NAD Synergizer do? Well, it regulates 7 SIRTUIN longevity genes. It boosts mental and physical energy. It supports autophagy, which is the removal of cellular waste. It supports mental focus, mood, motivation, concentration. And it boosts mitochondrial function and repair, supports a healthy DNA. Again, with these natural ingredients and special combination, we're able to enjoy these benefits. So these three products, we call them the LifeVantage product pillars. And here's what they look like. You can get them in bottles, or you can get them in handy packets. My wife and I like the handy packets because we just take one in the morning, tear it open, take all three at one time, and we're good to go for the rest of the day. We plan on taking this Protandim Tri-Synergizer for the rest of our lives. So let's look at the synergy. Now, if you look at the dark columns, the dark blue columns, that's the different products that are working by themselves, alone. And the light blue columns is when it's in conjunction with Protandim NAD Synergizer. So if you look at NRF1 Synergizer, you get a 65% impact on NRF1, which is gene number 1. And I'm going to be talking about gene number 1 and gene number 2. On gene number 2, you get a 71% impact. With the Protandim Tri-Synergizer, though, on gene number 1, you get a 90% impact and a 120% impact on gene number 2. That's a 38% and 69% increase, respectively. When we look at NAD, you get a 12% impact on gene number 1 and a 12% impact on gene number 2. And that's okay. But with Tri-Synergizer, you get a 128% impact on gene number 1, or a 967% increase, and you get a 227% increase, which is a 1,792% increase. With Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, by itself, a 40% increase, which is impressive on gene number 1, and 51% on gene number 2. And with Protandim Tri-Synergizer, though, you get a 78% impact on gene number 1 and an 848% impact on gene number 2. So which is the one that you would prefer? A 95% increase or a 1,563% increase? We think it's much better with the Tri-Synergizer, don't you? So we didn't stop with the pillars that we have, our health pillars, if you will. We decided to use that same science and enter into other areas that people are, used to keep their health in check. And look at the lower left-hand corner and you'll see something that says Axio. Axio is a product that it comes in packets. You tear it open, you pour it in a bottle of water, you shake it up, and what does it do? It does a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot. But the major thing that it does that I'm excited about, and you can get excited about, is it gives you brain focus and mental clarity. I think we all could use that. Well, beyond the energy area, which, by the way, this is much better than drinking Red Bull and 5-hour energy, I can tell you that. All the ingredients are natural here, not a bunch of chemicals. But we also got into the weight management area. And that's with our LifeVantage physique products. And so that's whey protein, prebiotic, and fat burner. The best that you could get on the market. You're going to hear me say the best, because that's what it is. Everything we've got is the best. All right. Then we got into the hair care industry by introducing our True Science hair care system. And how would you like to use the NRF2 science, being able to slow down the aging of your hair and your scalp by using these products? Very exciting. I was going to be all gray here pretty soon. I'm 74, and I think this has slowed that down for me. Then we have something called Omega Plus, and that's a fish oil product with omega-3 and omega-7 plus vitamin D. And this is fish oil that doesn't taste fishy. And if you've ever taken omega products and got that fish burp or that fishy taste, you won't get that with our product. Plus, with each bottle of Omega Plus, they can tell you which boat that the fish were caught on that produced this product, the fish in the North Sea that they caught them in. Then we have a product called ProBio, and that's a probiotic. What's neat about this, it has a patented process where 70% of the good flora gets through your stomach acids and gets to the good intestines and does what it's supposed to do. If you buy probiotic in the market, you'll be lucky to get a 4% through your stomach acids. It's a waste of money and a waste of time. Won't do you any good. Then we got also into the skincare regimen with our True Science skincare. And again, how would you like to be able to slow down the aging process of your skin and repair your skin when it gets damaged by sun and all this other stuff? So this is a great product. Love it, love it, love it. I use the anti-aging cream as my aftershave. Okay. And my wife made it put me some more on before I came in to do this presentation. She said, you gotta look good. All right. So we have this other product called Pet Tandem, and that's for our fur babies. And that's like Protandim in a bottle. Mammals age faster than we do. They unfortunately experience oxidative stress at a greater degree than we do. So we can help slow that down and slow that process down and keep our fur babies around, hopefully for a lot longer. So you can pick your products, and we hope that you will do exactly that. Now, I want to basically just wanted to show this picture of some of the doctors. I've seen a lot of other companies over the years that have health and wellness products, and they have a doctor or two on staff, part of their staff. Well, these doctors here, they were attracted to LifeVantage as distributors just like us, so that they could have access to these products in their particular practices. I want you to look at the upper left-hand corner. You see Dr. Maniscalco there on the right of him. Our right is Dr. Gandhi, Pratichka Gandhi, and beneath Dr. Maniscalco is Dr. Gordon. And these are three cardiologists, board certified. As a matter of fact, Dr. Gandhi is reputed to be one of the top 50 cardiologists in the world. Now, why am I pointing them out? Because all these other doctors have the same philosophy. What is that? Prevention. So these heart doctors want to prevent you from having open heart surgery and having stents and all that. And so they've been attracted to the science behind our products because that's exactly what they do and can help you with. All right. So now you might want to be knowing, well, what about the money? Not everybody's interested in money, but some people are. So let's talk about how to make money. Well, we get paid weekly with something called Smart Start bonuses, where the company gives us a 30 to 40% commission, and also launch bonuses. We also get paid monthly on unilevel or royalty commissions that come in every month on the 15th of the month based on the volume created by you and your team. Then there are generational match bonuses, where the company pays a commission of 10% on your personally enrolled distributors, and also a 5% commission on their personal enrolled distributors and their personal enrolled distributors down through 4 levels deep, a total of 5 levels. And then we have elite pools. What that means is that the company takes 4% of global revenues and they divide it into 4 shares. And they then allocate that to the top 4 ranks in the company, which are our elite ranks. And so we'll talk about that in a second. But the Elite Pro 7s, they get 1 share. The Elite Pro 8s, they get 2. The Elite Pro 9s, they get 3. And the Master Pro 10s, they get 4 shares. But before we get too deep into the money, let's do a proper disclosure. Is everybody who signs up in LifeVantage going to make a lot of money? No. Everyone's results will vary, as we are all unique and different. Isn't it like everything else? I mean, come on. There's no free lunch, right? And so we've got people that are only looking to make $500 a month. We've got other people that want to make $500 a day. And we've got other people that want to make $500 an hour. Whatever it is that you're looking to do, and you're willing to put in the work and follow a system and be coachable and have a good work ethic, then you're going to have a very good chance of reaching all those goals that you set out for yourself. Okay? So being that we are a publicly traded company, we are required by law to display an audited income disclosure statement so that you can see the average monthly commissions that are paid to our distributors at paid rank. So if you look on the left-hand column, you'll see distributors and Pro 1 down through Pro 10. And we don't have fancy names. They're just Pro 1 through Pro 10. And if you look at the third column, you'll see the average commissions. And these are average commissions. So at these various ranks, some people make more, some people make less. But these are the average commissions. So our goal is to get you to Pro 3 as soon as possible. And you'll see that the average Pro 3 earns $626. That's the average commission for a Pro 3. Okay? We want to get you there in 90 days or less. And the reason for that is that the company has some fast start bonuses that they want to allocate to the brand new distributor who can get to Pro 3 in 90 days. You can earn an additional $750 on top of your bonus of $626 if you get to Pro 3 in 90 days. But now when you get to a Pro 5, and I forgot to mention back to that $626, would that $600 extra make a difference in everybody's household today? And how about $3,107? As a Pro 5, you're making $37,000 a year on average, okay? And I would bet you that if you're making $37 extra a year in our business, that's going to begin the conversation of whether or not you want to continue to go to work every day. Whether you want to have somebody telling you when to come to work, when to leave work, when to go on lunch, whether to go on vacation, how much vacation can you have, not to mention how much money can you make, okay? But let's look at Elite Pro 7s. The average income of an Elite Pro 7 is $13,402. That's $160-something thousand a year. And I guarantee you that if you're making $13,000 a month coming in on the 15th of every month, you've already had that serious discussion about whether or not you're going to continue to jump in traffic and have people tell you what to do. You're going to want to be your own boss. That's my guess. I could be wrong. So let's talk about getting into profit mode. It's all about volume. All right. So the more volume you earn, the better you're going to do, the more money you're going to make. Now, if you're not making generating at least 100 points in personal volume, you will not get paid. All right. But we're going to show you how to get to more volume. All right. With our system. And if you're earning a personal volume, PV is what we call it, 100 points to 199 points, you earn a 30% Smart Start bonus on all new customer orders and all new distributor enrollments. But if you get over 200 points in personal volume, PV, then the company is going to give you 40% on all new customer enrollments and all new distributor enrollments. All right. Now, I want you to understand that your PV is derived not only from your personal purchases, okay, but also from the purchases of your personally enrolled customers. Okay. Example, if you had just one bottle of Pro Tandem, but you had 4 customers that had a bottle of Pro Tandem, that's 40 for you, 40 times 4 for them. That's 160 plus your 40 is 200. There you are. All right. So let's use an example. This is for illustration. There you are. You just came in. You're at 40%, and you sold somebody a bottle of Pro Tandem. And so that's 40 PV. You earn $16 the next week, by the way, because these are weekly bonuses. And you have another customer that bought 2 bottles of Pro Tandem, a dual pack, which is what we call it. And that's 80 PV, and the company gives you $32. You bought another customer in that bought a Tri-Synergizer, that's 100 PV, three of the products, NRF2, NRF1, and NAD. And so the company is going to give you 40% of that 100 or $40. Okay? So now you probably want to know, well, how do I get started? Well, I hope that when you do get started, that you're going to want to do what this guy is doing over here on the right. He's climbing his way to the top. And you can climb your way to the top, and we'll help you get there. But it's all going to depend in the final analysis on the power of you. So you start by getting a starter kit for $50. That's in the US. It's $45 in Canada. And in your start kit, you're going to get training materials, marketing materials. And in US starter kits, you get sample products. They're working on it for Canada. They haven't got that going yet, but it's coming, folks. Just be patient. All right. So you start off with your starter kit. And so now you want to get your business started. And here's how you do that. You pick a pack. And maybe you don't want to get your business started. Maybe you just want to be a customer. So if you're a customer, you get to purchase the products at wholesale pricing. And so nothing extra. So if you're on monthly subscription, you get the product for the same cost we do. All right. But getting their business going, you pick a pack. The platinum pack is $1,250, including the start kit. And the gold pack is $650. And the silver pack is $350. The difference between these packages is basically the amount of products that's in the packs. Okay. Obviously, the platinum pack for $1,200 is going to be more product in there than it is in the gold pack, and more product in there than it is in the silver pack. But in the platinum pack and the gold pack, you also get a free event ticket. And that's to our next event. And our next event is on October. It's a global convention that we'll be doing on demand and online. Okay, so you'll be able to do it at your convenience, but you won't have to pay for it if you've got a gold pack or a silver pack. So why LifeVantage? Why now? Well, see, there's been a 60% increase in wellness sales in just the last 8 years in the network distribution universe. And I dare say that with COVID-19 going around the world, there's a whole lot more people who are concerned about better health than maybe there was even before that statistic came up. And the other reason is because even though we're doing $250 million in revenue, most of the US and Canada, not to mention the world, they haven't heard of us yet. That's what you call timing. If they've already heard of you, it's too late. Okay, so we're in the best spot. So we've got the perfect model here. You get to work from home or anywhere. You have a low entry cost and low risk. You're able to do social sharing with all the social media that's going around. You get your virtual office and your personal online store provided by the company for free. You have minimal business assets. My gosh, a laptop, a tablet, a smartphone that you can run your business. We call it a laptop lifestyle, and you have no inventory requirements because the company takes care of all of that. We also recently learned that we were going to also be paid daily bonuses, and there are also travel incentives. So as you're building your business, you're going to be able to qualify for various trips that'll take you around the world. I mean, how cool is that? Traveling with people that are like-minded, doing the same thing that you're doing, sharing this important information. Well, we're also a company that gives back. And so we have LifeVantage Legacy, which is a 501c3 charitable organization. And so we donate to all these different charities. Me being a former combat veteran, Vietnam, I kind of lean towards being, you know, the Wounded Warrior Project. But I also love the families helping families. What an exciting thing that is. Okay, but before I get into that, let me tell you about our CEO. He came on board with us. His name was Darren Jensen about 5 years ago. And I tell you, it was kind of touch and go there until Darren came on board. Darren's got 27, 28 years experience as an executive in network marketing. He's taken 3 companies into 100 countries each, and one company that I know of for sure to $1 billion. He left that company to come and be the pilot of our ship, and we couldn't be in better hands with him and the elite world-class management team that he has put together to take us around the world. Well, we've also, as I mentioned, our stock is traded on the NASDAQ. And also, here's our friends helping friends, families helping families, I mean. And once a year in December, on a volunteer basis, we have corporate staff and distributors going down to Baja California and building houses. And I mean, there's a long waiting list. There's lots of us that want to go down and help and do this. And there's a lot of joy and satisfaction in putting people that are challenged economically and put them into the house of their dreams. And is it as heartwarming for us as it is for the recipients of these houses. Well, in July of 2019, something that I'm very excited about, particularly with my background in securities, LifeVantage was added to the Russell 3000 index. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is a really big deal, okay? So we are also proud to say that we are the front of jersey sponsors for a Major League Soccer team called Real Salt Lake. That's in Salt Lake City and playing in playoffs actually right now. We hope they do well, but that's the largest sport, most popular sport in the world. They're on video games that are all around the world. And it's pretty exciting to watch the guys go up and down the field and have the name of our company appear on the front of their jerseys. We love that. We're also in global expansion. We started out in the United States, then Canada and Mexico, and now we're in 22 countries and we're expanding globally. So if you want to build an international business, well, we're certainly going to help you do that. So here's our corporate headquarters in Sandy, Utah. It's a suburb of Salt Lake City. And we're also happy to tell you that in May of 2019, we added Erin Brockovich to our board of directors. And we're very thrilled about that because of her reputation for integrity and that sort of thing. So we're very glad about that. There's some very serious guys as members of our board. And in January of this year, we rang the closing bell during Health and Wellness Week on the NASDAQ. That was pretty exciting. Get the person who invited you to this meetup. We have a video of that entire presentation that I'm sure you'd probably would like to take a look at. So you might be saying at this particular time, can I do this? Well, you certainly can, because we're going to give you a whole lot of support. We'll lock arms with you. So if you have a serious desire for change and you're coachable and you have a good work ethic, we're going to give you 24/7 support. We provide you with an easy to follow system. We call it ITT, which stands for Invite, which will teach you how to do. We'll show you how to use our tools, and we'll show you how to introduce you to our team. Okay, we have regular team meetings and training, much like you're attending now tonight, where we teach you skill set, mindset, and leadership. We have regular corporate events and training like the global convention I mentioned that's going to be taking place in October. We have travel incentives and gift incentives to keep you motivated. You can even, when you reach Elite Pro 7, get a free Jeep, okay, with all the whistles and bells and whistles. So we have a private support community, especially with Team Leverage here, that we'd like you to consider being a part of. So by now, you got to make a decision. You know, it's decision time. Maybe you're thinking about, hey, these products are great. I'm going to become a customer, and that's fantastic. Or maybe you want to see the benefits of that extra income, and that could lead to time and financial freedom. So you want to become a business partner, and if so, we will help you build a network of consumers and a network of distributors. Maybe you just want more information right now, and we'll certainly provide you with all the information. We'll give you information overload if that's what you want. Okay, and if you haven't decided what you want to do, you don't know what to do, well, we love referrals. You know, while you're not knowing what you're going to do, who do you know that needs these products? Send them our way. We'll be glad to see to it that they get better health. Well, folks, my point with this very broad overview is that you have now been introduced to the ultimate side hustle and the opportunity to take the advice of billionaire J. Paul Getty, who said that there are 3 things that are necessary to accumulate financial wealth. 1 is to own your own business. 2, to offer a product or service that's needed by others. And 3, have a system that allows you to duplicate yourself through others. He is also famous for saying, I would rather earn 1% on the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So would you be opposed to allowing us to help you start building your own positive cash flow business and help others do the same? Hey, we want to help you do that. Well, I want to thank you so much for the time that you shared with me, and I trust that we've added some value for you. Stay healthy, and this is really not the end. It might be the end of my presentation, but it is just the end of the beginning. It is the beginning of your end. It is the beginning, not the end. I'll get that straight. I'm so excited, I can't even get the words to come out. But that's about it for me tonight, folks. Thank you so much for your time. God bless, and good night.